Yeah, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football. I'm back here again, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, Everything Football 62. I was reading around today, reading, surfing the net, doing some research and everything, and end up finding out that, of course, with Andrew Luck is ruled out for Week 3. Uh, Kind of a shame, but I'm gonna break something down to you guys, so some of you guys may or may not know. You know, being that I've been around for a little while, and so I remember a lot of different players and stuff like that as a kid, being a fanatic about football and whatnot. So I remember a lot of things, and then I started putting pieces together, much like I put pieces together, was putting pieces together for the whole Mark Gastineau, J.J. Watt comparison. Well, here we go again. For those of you may or may not remember this particular guy, you have to go back, guys. 40 plus and older probably kind of remember that type of stuff. And real heavy football heads that might be in their mid 30s or something like that. But anyway, you have the Indianapolis Colts going through the stuff that they're going through right now. Now we all know what happened with them back when Peyton Manning messed around and messed his neck up and everything like that. And they basically got rid of him, let him go. He sat out the whole 2011 season, if I'm not mistaken. And they let him go for the 2012 draft for them to either pick RG3 or either Andrew Luck. Well, we all knew it was going to be Andrew Luck, obviously. Andrew Luck comes out the gate 3 years in a row, 12, 13, and 14. Three-time Pro Bowler, the whole 9 yards. He did all of that, 11 and 5, 11 and 5, 11 and 5. Great. Doing great things and whatnot and all that. And I think Andrew Luck is an exceptional quarterback. One get through for 40 touchdowns. That was so ironic about that particular year. That's the year that Peyton Manning threw for 39, and Peyton Manning didn't even play like the rest of the last game. He could have probably threw for like 3 or 4 touchdowns just to be leading again, to show you how much records really don't mean to him at that particular point in his career, because he's already done it. But anyway, so big things we think was supposed to be happening. Come up 2000 and literally 2015 here, 2015 season or whatever. Luck, I know he missed the first 2 games of his career at injured shoulder. And basically, in a nutshell, since 2015, they're saying 12. So this is getting ready to be his third game. Luck has missed since 2015, equivalent to just about a season. He's missed 15 games. When you miss 15 games, right, that's a lot. That's a whole season gone. So regardless whether it's a whole season or whether or not, he's got a whole season, right, that he's missed football in the last 2 years almost. So you're talking about 15 games that he has missed, right? Don't really have no stellar players around him, no line. Everybody keeps going on. But look, he was the heir apparent to the great Peyton Manning. You follow what I'm saying? And now just all these rumors swirling around. Is he going to be traded? He wants to be traded. Luck is not. I don't really feel though that Luck is going to do any of that. He's a trooper. He wants to get this thing done. He wants his shoulder to be good and everything like that. But it's like, what are they going to do? It's like, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. People make, because I had this discussion with a person on YouTube talking about Luck at one particular time, and he said, "Oh, you trying to say he's a bust?" I never said Luck was a bust. He's not a bust. He's an exceptional young quarterback. I think he could be one of the best in the business. However, the perception of what's going down, it's like he's starting to break down. And they say, "Well, he had a good year." Fine, but they went what, 8 and what did they go, like 8-7 or something like that, to my knowledge on whatnot. They went 8-7 in 2016. He started 7 games 2015, and they went 2-5. His career record right now is 43-27. Now he's the heir apparent. He has to win because they got rid of Manning. And look, and then let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. You had Peyton Manning come out of the University of Tennessee, high expectations in the whole 9 yards, right? Peyton Manning from 1998 until 2011 to 2010. You're talking about a 14-year run before this guy actually missed the game. Then he comes back in 2012, 13, 14, and 15, and he was the best quarterback in his mid to late 30s, all the way to 2000 and basically 2012, 13, and definitely 14, 15, kind of shabby and everything like that, but he still did okay. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. Okay, so you have that whole dynamics of that going on, and in the midst of that time, in his late 30s, he threw for 55 touchdowns, a record. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? The expectation of luck in what Indianapolis, if he doesn't win a Super Bowl or even do half the thing Manning done, that whole thing is going to look like a complete blow up. He was the heir apparent. And like I said, people say, well, you trying to blame luck. It's not about trying to blame luck, but at the end of the day, you have to still get on the field. Okay, you have to, as a football player, you have to be on the field in order to play, to make plays and to earn your dough. You know what I'm saying? So that it's like I use the analogy. A quarterback drops back. His receiver runs this route. The quarterback uh, pinpoint precision gets the ball right there to the wide receiver. The ball hits him square in the hands, but it goes right through his hands and right into defensive back hands, and the defensive back runs the ball back. Now, the quarterback did everything he was supposed to do, and the receiver did everything he was supposed to do except catch the ball. Whose fault is it that who's going to go down? What does it say? The quarterback just threw an interception. The ball hit the guy right in the hands. It doesn't matter. He threw an interception, and then he threw an interception that goes on as an interception that the quarterback thrown. Not a ball that the wide receiver really dropped or anything like that, or he tipped or whatever the case may be. It's an interception. It's the receiver's fault, but the quarterback is the one that threw it. So it's his fault. It doesn't go. You don't have receivers having interception. You know, that count for interception if they drop if a ball goes through the hand and intercepted by a defensive back or linebacker. Okay, so that's the perception. Whether or not he has a line, backs, wide receivers, it's irrelevant. What a fan looks for is for W. So you're the franchise, you're getting a lot of money, and this is what's happening. Which brings me, it was going to segue me into this here because Luck, was taking over for a giant that had already been to 2 Super Bowls, owned just about done everything in the past, and considered by one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. Just bought it, just playing the position. Period. Okay, all of that. Take me back now to 1973, to the 1973 draft. It was a young man drafted out of LSU named Bert Jones, who was supposed to be the heir apparent to guess who? Johnny Unitas, Colt, Baltimore Colts at this particular time. See where I'm getting ready to go with this? He goes over there, 1973. Okay, the rookie. He goes there. He goes to the Colts. He basically takes over for that of Johnny Unitas. Back up to Johnny Unitas. He's the heir apparent. That's what they drafted him for. By 1975, it's his team. He starts because at this time they're playing 14 game seasons. From 1975, you're talking about he went from 10-4, 11-3, 10-4. In 1976, he was the NFL MVP. He threw for 3,104 yards, 24 touchdowns. The next year in 77, he had 224 completions. He led the NFL. So he was one of the best quarterbacks in that run from 75, 76, 77. NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowl, a couple of Pro Bowls, I believe, or a Pro Bowl, and 2 times a first and second team All-Pro, right, and everything. By 1978, 79, he basically missed them whole years. Sounds familiar? 1980, by the time you get to 1980, he 15 games, started in 7, they go 6-9 for the time that he played. Threw for 3,134 yards, 23 touchdowns, 21 picks. That's pretty that. Then you go down to 1981 at age 30, 2-13, 3,094 yards, 21 touchdowns, 20 picks. By this time, he's a shell of himself. He's not that guy that was from age 24, 25, and 26. But through bad teams, injuries, and whatnot, that's what happened to Bert Jones. And if you go back and talk to Belichick, because he was a young assistant at the time, I think over the if I'm not mistaken, over the punt and kick return teams or whatever, but he was an assistant on that spot. He'd say he still hadn't seen anybody can throw the ball like Bert Jones. And for those who remember Bert Jones, he was like either like Elway before Elway. You know what I'm saying? He had a rifle for an arm. He was up and coming. Bert Jones was the truth. And then look at what happened. Like I said, 70, 74, 75, 76. And in 76, he was the best quarterback in the business. And he was one of the best top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the business from 75, 76, and 77. And then by 78, 79, 8, he was basically done. He didn't do anything else. And this is where I see Luck getting ready to go. Because see, what people don't realize is these stories repeat themselves all the time. It's just the irony of this one and the eeriness of it is the fact that it's the Baltimore Colts / Indianapolis Colts. And you have two quarterbacks that was trying to do what? Replace an icon, Hall of Famers. Two quarterbacks that's probably considered the top 5 to ever play the game. Johnny Unitas was considered the top quarterback, for at least 20 some odd years until Joe Montana won his 4th. So I think, yeah, Joe Montana won his 4th Super Bowl, I believe. That's when they said, okay, we're going to go edge him out and give it to him because he won that. But as for just playing the quarterback position, it was already noted in the mid 60s that Unitas by that time had already in the NFL by this time was maybe 30 some odd years old at the time, if I'm not mistaken. By this particular time, by that time, it was already noted in the mid 60s that Johnny Unitas was the best quarterback to ever play in the NFL at that particular time. And from that time all the way up until probably the early 90s, until they just gave the nod basically to Montana. Now trying to give it to, of course, with most accomplished with Tom Brady. But you got Bert Jones trying to do that. You come back 40 some years later, who do you have? You have, what's his name? You have Peyton Manning that did everything that he's done. Now, due to injuries, he's leaving. Now you bringing in Andrew Luck to fill the shoes of another iconic top 5 of all time quarterback. Some say the greatest ever done it in the sense of playing the position. Okay? And look at what's happening. Luck's body is starting to break down. Like I said, 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. You follow what I'm saying? All of that. If you go back and take a look at Luck and Manning's first few years in the league, the first couple of so years up in the league, Luck, 19,078 yards passing, 132 touchdowns, 43-27 record, 42-38 record for Manning, 20,618 yards and 138 touchdowns. Okay, that's what we're talking about, the similarities. But then he runs away with it. He completely, by this time, Manning has ran away with that until Luck gets back to a particular point in time to where he is until he gets back in his thing again, in his groove again. He is going to be he's going to be Bert Jones. He is identical to Bert Jones. This is the same exact thing from my research, this is what I found out. This is the same thing that happened. Look at the records, look it up. I'm not making this up. These are things, this is right there. Like I said, Bert Jones, 10-4, 11-3, 10-4. Luck went 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. By that time he went, but now over the past 2 years, he's missed 15 games. By this next time you look up, what do we have? Luck is missing all these games. And it's an eerie thing, but this is what's going on at this particular time. And so therefore, we're starting to see, and I don't want to see it, but this is where we start to see the decline of Luck unless he gets something going on right now, he's going to be another Bert Jones. And the reason I'm saying this was, look at it's all the Baltimore Colts, Indianapolis Colts. Okay, just to do your homework, do your research, go to Pro Football Reference, go to any other places you need to go. Check out, go to Wikipedia, go wherever you need to go. NFL, Hall of Fame, go there. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why I'm saying Luck has got to get it together by this time now, or he's going to be perceived as what could have been, because such a fast start, just like Bert Jones had. All right. Check me out on Twitter, Everything Football 62, Untucked Men 62. Also check me out on the YouTube page. All right. I'll probably come back and wrap some other things up as well. We'll talk with you later. Thanks.